You know, I feel like if the 1994 movie didn't exist, then this movie would be getting way better reviews than it's been getting. That's just my thoughts. Also, I know it's not a Lion King shirt, but it is a Mickey Mouse shirt. I feel like I had to wear something Disney for this review just because, you know, I love Disney and I was really excited for this movie. And also, yeah, like I just had to think of an intro for this. I don't really have much else. I would put Circle of Life over, like you'd hear that na sabenya thing, but A, I don't want to sing again, and B, I know if I actually did put the song in my intro that there's a good chance this movie or this video would be copyright claimed. So yeah, I don't want that. Let's talk about The Lion King. The Lion King. The Lion King is a live-action / CGI remake of the 1994 animated film of the same name, and this movie is directed by Jon Favreau. He's the same one that did the live-action remake of The Jungle Book back in 2016, and this one stars Donald Glover, Beyonce, Seth Rogen, Billy Eichner, John Oliver, Chiwetel Ejiofor, Keegan-Michael Key's in this movie. It's got a pretty big cast. And if you haven't seen the original 1994 film, first of all, are you living under a rock? And second of all, basically what you need to know is a young lion cub named Simba. He is the son of King Mufasa, who is the king of the Pride Lands. And then his jealous brother Scar, he wants to be king himself, so he hatches a plan to kill Mufasa and Simba, but things don't exactly go according to plan, at least not quite. But then Simba, he's living away from the Pride Lands eventually, and then eventually his childhood friend Nala finds him and convinces him to come back and take his rightful place as king. So let's get right into the CGI remake of The Lion King. Alright, so first of all, the 1994 Lion King is a masterpiece. It's absolutely perfect in every way. There is absolutely no way that this movie was ever going to top that original 1994 film. If you went into this movie thinking that, then you're pretty much a fool, because yeah, there was no way that it was going to top the 1994 film. Nonetheless, I was really excited for this movie. Because, first of all, I love visual CGI films, or I tend to have a soft spot for them, except for Avatar for some reason. Like, Avatar didn't really hit me as hard, but it was still a beautiful looking movie nonetheless. But with this movie, like, when it was first announced, I was a little bit skeptical, but then I heard that Jon Favreau was going to return to direct. It was actually Jon Favreau announcing on his Twitter, like, his next project would be The Lion King. I actually remember that. So yeah, I was excited to see what Jon Favreau was going to do with this movie. If anybody other than Jon Favreau was directing this, I probably would not have been nearly as excited for this movie as I was. But nonetheless, this was my most anticipated film of the summer. I absolutely love the 1994 version, and I was curious to see how it would look on, like, with a new paint job, essentially. And I gotta say, the amount of backlash this movie is getting from critics and other YouTube movie reviewers is really shocking and just sometimes baffling. I actually walked out having kind of loved this movie. First of all, the voice acting in this movie, for the most part, is really good. I thought Donald Glover did a really good job. I thought John Oliver did a really good job. Keegan-Michael Key as one of the hyenas, I thought he did a really good job. But the standouts for me, first of all, Chiwetel Ejiofor. I loved what he did with Scar. It's very different from Jeremy Irons in a sense, like in a sense of like menace. First of all, it's not quite as menacing as Jeremy Irons, but then again, who really expected it to be anywhere near what Jeremy Irons did? Because what Jeremy Irons did with Scar was iconic. But yeah, nonetheless, I loved Chiwetel Ejiofor's take on Scar. And I love the way he did. Like, I actually thought Be Prepared was very underrated with this movie. A lot of people hated it. I actually kind of liked it. It wasn't really a full-on song. It was more of a chant, like a tribal chant type of thing. But I actually really liked that. Like, kind of that was like one of the new things about this movie. same song, but just presented differently, and I like that about it. But the two standout voice performances in this movie, for sure, are Seth Rogen and Billy Eichner as Pumbaa and Timon, respectively, because the way they did this, it was so funny. I thought they were absolutely hilarious in this movie. Like, I remember when I first watched The Lion King as a kid, I always loved Timon and Pumbaa. They're my favorite characters, and they're easily the best characters in this movie as well. And Billy Eichner, man, I'm surprised at how well he can sing, because the guy actually has some really good vocal talent, it seems like. And Seth Rogen, not quite as much on the singing, but then again, Pumbaa in the original film didn't really sound all that great at singing either, so yeah, not really too much of a problem for me. But nonetheless, like, just they have great chemistry together. Their banter, especially with Simba when he's grown up, I thought was really good. Billy Eichner's jokes were hilarious. Seth Rogen's jokes were hilarious. Just everything about these two. Like, I low-key want to see The Lion King 1.5, which if you don't remember, that was the spin-off film with Pumbaa and Timon. Gosh, Pumbaa and Timon. It was the spin-off film with Pumbaa and Timon. And I low-key want to see Jon Favreau direct a CGI remake of The Lion King 1.5 with Seth Rogen and Billy Eichner back reprising their roles. I low-key want to see that. I would pay money to see that. So, yeah, like, that's how good they were. And plus, I thought the songs in this movie were actually really good. I thought Be Prepared was good. I Just Can't Wait to Be King is extended a little bit. It's got an extended drum solo I thought was really cool. Circle of Life's pretty much the same as the original, not too much different. Can You Feel the Love Tonight I thought was really good too. And Hakuna Matata I thought was great as well. And plus, like, there's actually a few new cool additions to this movie where like I keep saying Pomon. Why do I keep saying that? Timon and Pumbaa. There you go. Timon and Pumbaa. Like, there's actually some new characters surrounding them that they live with that they didn't show in the original film. I thought that was a nice little touch to them. I thought that was funny as well. But the main reason you go to see this movie is because of the CGI and the visuals. Oh my god. It's absolutely spectacular the way the visuals are presented in this movie. It's essentially a new paint job, and it's going to be revolutionary in terms of visual effects. And I'm going to go as far as saying this. I think the visuals in this movie are better than the visuals in Avatar. Yeah, I said it. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry, I should say. I thought the visuals in this movie were better than the visuals in Avatar. So, yeah. And I think I'm still torn between this and Avengers Endgame as to which movie should win Best Visual Effects at the Oscars next year. But honestly, I would not be mad if this movie won the Oscar, because that's how good it looks. It just looks visually spectacular, beautiful landscapes, the way the water looks, the way all the lines look, like every hair, just every single detail in this movie and its CGI is perfection, pretty much. Like, you can't really get much better than this in terms of CGI and visual presentation. And now, some of the complaints about this movie that I do feel like I should address. First of all, the shot-for-shot remake thing. First of all, it's not exactly a shot-for-shot. It is the same movie, so if you go into this movie expecting something different, you're not really going to get that, except for like 1 or 2 scenes. So, essentially, but yeah, it is essentially the same movie. It's not exactly shot-for-shot, though. I wouldn't quite call it that. It is close, but not quite. They do have the same lines of dialogue here and there as the original, but still, like, honestly, that didn't really bother me, because, you know the whole saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it? Yeah, that definitely applies to the 1994 Lion King, and Jon Favreau understood that, I feel like, and, like, he added a few little touches here and there, but he didn't really change all that much, and I actually can appreciate that, because I know for a fact, if he changed too much about this movie, there would be even more complaints than there are right now about the whole shot-for-shot thing. Like, I just know for a fact it would be even worse. So, yeah, like, I swear, critics have to find something to complain about. The anti-Disney squad out there, they can seriously screw off. They're garbage. They did, like, they were cheering when this movie was in the 50s on Rotten Tomatoes. They were cheering. They were like, ha ha, laughing and cheering. I was like, screw you. But, yeah, upon that, like, the whole shot-for-shot thing I didn't really have an issue with because, again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And then you might be saying, why remake it at all? Why not? I mean, they've remade all the other Disney live-action movies. They did it with Beauty and the Beast. I mean, Bill Condon did the same thing with Beauty and the Beast in terms of the whole shot-for-shot remake thing. He changed a little bit, but not much. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's just how I go. And I mean, why not make a photorealistic CGI version of The Lion King? I don't really mind that. But again, if Jon Favreau wasn't directing this, and it's only because he directed The Jungle Book as well, that I have faith. So, yeah, that's just what I thought of it. And then the other big complaint that I see a lot is the whole, like, this movie has no heart, it's soulless, there's no emotion to it at all, it's just an unnecessary cash grab, and here's what I have to say to that. There's emotion in this movie. At least I was feeling it. Sure, not as emotional as the original, but I was definitely feeling it at times. I was definitely feeling like there was emotion, and I feel like there is heart. And it's the humor's good too. It's funny, but yeah, it is there are some extended scenes as well that I thought added a nice touch. But yeah, like the whole soulless, heartless, emotionless complaints that I've been hearing, bland, that's another word I've been hearing. I don't quite understand that because I feel like there was definitely some emotion, and also Baby Simba's the cutest thing ever, and Baby Nala as well. They're the cutest things ever. And just the look of this movie is great. It's not a Terrence Malick film where it's just all style over substance, okay? Like, let's not get carried away here with the complaints. It's not a freaking Terrence Malick film. But yeah, overall, I feel like this movie did the original film justice. I really did. And you can hate me all you want for it. Leave all the dislikes and put all the hateful comments down below. Just do all that what you want. But I walked out of this movie really enjoying it. And yeah, definitely see it in 3D because of the visuals. So yeah, I don't quite understand the complaints with this movie. As much as I love the Lion King remake, I will admit I do have some flaws with it. First of all, it's not as good as the original. I'll just put that out there right now. But the main thing is, there's two big problems I have with it. One of them is Beyonce. I feel like she was miscast in this movie, and I feel like they could have chosen somebody else. And I'll say it again, I've been saying this from day one. Mandy Moore would have been perfect as Nala in this movie. She played Rapunzel in Tangled, and I thought she did a really good job. She can sing really well. And there's actually a song by Beyonce in this movie. It's a good song, but I feel like Mandy Moore would have done a better job with it. I don't know, that's just me. But yeah, and Mandy Moore has proven that she can act too. Again, with Tangled. So yeah, I've been saying it from day one. They should have gotten Mandy Moore, and I still feel that way. And then my other big flaw with it is, again, going back to the whole emotionless thing, the fact that characters don't emote as much. I will say this, it does take the emotion out of certain scenes, like mainly Mufasa's death. But again, it wasn't too much of an issue. And like there are some animals that do emote in this movie. The hyenas emote. But yeah, I do feel like that did take a little bit out of some scene, a little bit of emotion out of some scenes. Like I feel like it could have been better with the emotion as a whole. But again, I was still feeling emotions in some scenes, just not as much as I would have liked to have felt. But otherwise, that's really it. So yeah, overall guys, sue me. I love this movie. I really think it's one of the more underrated films of the year. Definitely the most underrated film of the summer outside of maybe Godzilla King of the Monsters. Although I'd probably lower my score for that movie since I've seen it a second time. But yeah. So yeah, I'm going to get a lot of hate for this. You can leave all your dislikes and comments and all that. But there's a big list of movies that I would rather watch or that I would watch this movie over. And yeah, I'm going to get some hate for this, but really, I don't care. Let's talk about some of the summer movies that I'd rather watch this movie instead of that. That might be controversial. Pokemon Detective Pikachu. Good movie. This movie was better. What's another one? Aladdin. A lot of people think Aladdin's the best Disney remake this year. I disagree. I think this is the best Disney remake of the year. And then this one's gonna turn some heads. Booksmart. Yep, I said it. I'd rather watch this movie again than Booksmart. I'm sorry. Not sorry. That's my thoughts. If you don't like them, more power to you. And then, of course, yeah, Dark Phoenix. Yesterday, that's another one. But, yeah, I'd rather watch this movie than Booksmart. I'm just going to leave that right there. And, oh, Midsommar. Just wait till I review that movie. Hopefully it'll come online soon so I can finish it. Little teaser there of my experience with Midsommar in theaters. Little teaser. But yeah, nonetheless, I really loved this remake of The Lion King. It was beautiful visually. I thought the voice acting for the most part was good. It was funny. It had emotion. It had heart. The small changes that Jon Favreau did make, I thought fit in very well with this movie. And despite the fact that there's not as much emotion in this movie as I would have liked to feel, and like the fact that Beyonce just didn't feel like a good choice to play Nala, nonetheless, I love this movie. This is one of the better Disney remakes, I feel like. It's definitely the best Disney CGI/live-action remake that 2019 has had so far. I don't think it's going to be topped because the only other one that's coming out is Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, which doesn't look all that good. Yeah, that's right, anti-Disney people. I don't look forward to every Disney movie. But yeah, with that being said, I'm going to give The Lion King 2019 remake an 89% certified fresh rating. That is a solid A. Alright, so there's my review of the 2019 remake of The Lion King. What did you think about it? If you have seen it, make sure to let me know down below. And what's your favorite Disney live-action remake so far? Again, mine is still The Jungle Book, followed by, I would say, either this movie or Beauty and the Beast. It's pretty close between these words. Yeah, it's pretty close between those two. But, yeah, nonetheless, let me know down in the comments below what your favorite Disney live-action remake is. And yeah, I know you're probably going to leave comments saying, oh, but you like every Disney movie. Not true. Let me go over some of the Disney movies that I didn't like. First of all, Dumbo just came out this year. Was not a fan of it. You guys saw my review for that. I didn't like it. I did not like Maleficent. I did not like Alice in Wonderland, the remakes. I love the originals. I don't like the remakes. Although Maleficent's more of a spin-off than a remake, but still. I didn't like Maleficent, I didn't like Alice in Wonderland, and I wasn't looking forward to Aladdin. So, yeah, there you go. And I'm not looking forward to Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. I'm not really looking forward to The Little Mermaid. I'm not really looking forward to Mulan all that much, although that one might change if I see another trailer come up soon. But, yeah. I don't look forward or love up on every single Disney movie. So all you anti-Disney jackasses out there that are getting on my ass about that, shut up, okay? Just shut up. I mean, for the most part, I do love Disney and their movies, but I don't love every single one. And even Princess and the Frog, I think, is overrated. So there you go. But yeah, nonetheless, make sure to subscribe to my channel for more reviews, more videos to come in the future. And again, I'm sorry if I got a little controversial in this video, but that's just how I feel. I feel like this movie's getting a bunch of unnecessary backlash. So yeah, make sure to subscribe to my channel for more reviews and more videos to come in the future. And until my next video, once again, my name is the California Cougar. And always remember, stay California cool. Peace.